about time. I love you all. I love you all. Thank you so much. We did it, Will. We did it.
Hey guys, we are back in This Is a Studio with a new episode of Paddock 43.
Located in Paran, it is our home for all things recording, filming, and everything in between.
Everything in between means the lollies that we constantly mention each week.
yes.
And then
And
we
tea.
eat.
And all the tea.
And that we devour. And we couldn't do it without these guys. So make sure that you subscribe and like this episode and enjoy.
We're back.
Lando simulation.
I'm in Miami, bitch.
I'm going to Miami. Bienvenidos a Miami.
You know what we need? We need to get Martin Garrix and Lando Norris in here so we can all do a little remix.
Oh, I was thinking about this today when I was working. I was like, wow, the things that I would do to be a fly on the wall to watch Lando Norris right now. Or just be with him.
It would be incredible.
my
I
God.
mean,
Partying with him.
he was partying in Amsterdam at King's Weekend last weekend.
They need to do that every weekend before a
Smashed
race.
his little
I know.
nose.
Smashed his nose. I sent this thing to you guys and I was like, I feel like Amy's going to like it the most because she's got the conspiracy theories about, you know, certain drivers and their performances. And there was obviously Carlos Sainz getting his appendix out.
Yeah.
And then he wins Australia.
And then
And
now
then-
we have Lando Norris with a smashed face.
Someone
Well-
go and punch Alex Albon in the face or something.
He never actually confirmed like what was wrong with his nose, but he had like a little Band-Aid over his little cut.
I feel like that was
it just
just
looked
for
like a little
show.
cut. That's what I thought. I was like, it's very. Who was it? The
He looked
rapper?
pretty Nelly.
Nelly that always had the Band-Aid on his
Yeah.
eyebrow.
But
So
he
it gave.
looked pretty
Nelly,
banged
as
up.
yeah.
As in Lando looked pretty banged up.
Where?
That image. That
on King's Weekend.
King's
Oh,
Weekend.
King's
yeah, when
Weekend.
he's
Oh
like,
my God, no, I was thinking about the weekend. I'm like, there's a little.
Yeah,
No.
no, that's, I think that just was the dramatic, over-dramatized,
Dramatized?
dramatized bandage that they put around his nose at King's Weekend, and he was just drunk, being like, "Ugh."
Oh, my
for
God,
sure.
watching those videos was so funny.
I mean, people
I was
even
like,
fell
you
in
are
the
such a
water
vibe.
at King's Weekend.
Oh, is that when the boat like submerged?
Yeah, they all fell.
People were like, oh my God.
I think it's a standard occurrence.
I don't know, moving on.
This morning we watched the race. Yes,
Yeah.
I was literally saying to Peter, like, because we watched it together. I was like, you know, Lando has a curse. He has a curse, and I want to know who cursed him. I was thinking, like, what witch out there put a curse on him after Sochi, and then
Was he
his curse was broken.
was he dating someone just before that race?
Yeah, maybe.
And she
Yeah.
put a little hex on him.
Maybe. Or
Maybe
someone.
this new girl.
But
Yeah.
and
New
for
girl.
those
Ooh.
for those of you that don't know, Lando Norris won his first race. He is no longer a bridesmaid. He is a bride.
I'm so glad we can
He's
say
gotten
that
married
now.
now.
And it might just be his only one.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We don't know.
You-
As
you-
she
you
wears her
kinda wanna
McLaren
know.
jumper.
Yeah.
I had to. I was going to wear my Lando one, but I couldn't find it.
I actually realised that
somewhere.
as a McLaren fan,
Oh my God.
I don't have any
squealing.
McLaren merchandise.
Oh.
I have like every other team except McLaren.
You were Ferrari. Was it last? No, when was
Yeah.
that?
I've got my Ferrari jacket. I've got my Alpine stuff. I've got Mercedes. I've got
Got
Red Bull.
everything else.
I've
No
never
McLaren.
had McLaren
Well, we were talking about that, how there's
because I have my fake Oscar shirt that I
that's
made.
right.
Oh, that's right.
But it's now washed out, so
Yeah.
it's time to update that one.
Yeah, surely we can get some made or something. But
We need heaps.
before we delve into this weekend, I reckon there's some news we need to touch on.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, it was a big
Where
week
is
of
it?
news.
Very big week for news, but starting off strong. This one's for the girls.
Yeah, the girls.
Yeah, the girls F1 Academy.
Netflix.
Coming to Netflix.
Not only were they obviously dominating all weekend in Miami,
Yeah.
but now they're on Netflix, which is just
Is that coming? Is it next year?
next year.
Next year. That's
It's
a really
gonna
quick
So
turnaround.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I noticed comments on, so F1 put it up on their page,
Mm.
and there was comments, people being like, why are we reporting on this? This page is just for F1. And everyone's
Oh,
like,
damn.
because
Mhm.
it's literally got F1 in its name,
Yeah.
and it's to train girls to be in
Academy.
the F1.
Yeah.
And there's all this like,
Who was the female hater that said
oh,
that?
there were so
So
many
are
female,
female
haters.
haters. Oh my God, girls, go home.
Literally.
That's just rude.
Yeah, so rude.
It'll be interesting to see how they work it around race weekends because
Yeah.
that means they're filming F1 and F1 Academy. Imagine the
Yeah.
amount of like,
Oh, it's
I
just
guess
two-
they just
two
make it
Netflix
work.
teams.
Yeah.
But
that's so much money.
I know.
I'm interested how they will dramatize it because there's got to be an element of drama to it.
That we're not hearing about.
But also, it's going to be a fine balance because usually when there's drama involving women, it tends to go that bitchy skew.
Yeah.
And that's not going
Yeah.
to be a good look for what they're trying to do. So,
Even though I think so many of those male drivers are so bitchy, but
they're
I think
so freaking bitchy.
I think they're worse than
team
girls.
principal. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
They're worse than
100%
girls.
they are.
It's like that quote I saw the other day. It's like, you think gossiping with a girl's bad? Wait till you gossip with a guy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, I feel like that's going to be interesting how they end up doing that.
I can't wait though. I think it's going to be so good for the sport, and I think it's going to bring in more money, more exposure. It's going to make it bigger and better, and it just means that it's less time before we see more women more women, but women in F1.
I'm also personally excited to understand F1 Academy more
Mm.
because we are so involved in the F1 world that it's, hard to also sometimes concentrate on all the other elements because
Yeah.
there's too much to think about and there's too much to keep up with.
It's like even the people that do like F1 and IndyCar
Yeah.
and NASCAR. Now we're doing F1 Academy as well. I'm like, you only have so many hours in a day.
Yeah.
There's so much to follow.
And there's too many
So
people to
much,
follow,
yeah.
especially when you include like all the engineers and the team and like, the drama is
Yeah.
Adrian Newey this week and all of that. Anyway, I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited. And speaking of F1 Academy, so we had round 2 this weekend, which was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for those, I know we sort of touched on the format last time, but we can touch on it again.
A little
and I'm
refresher.
a little refresher. I wonder as well if they'll continue with this format. But we have practice 1, like free practice 1, free practice 2, and then qualifying 1, qualifying 2, race 1, race 2. In terms of results, we had Abby Pulling came first in both races, both qualies. Then we had Dorian Pin came second in quali 1, third in quali 2, third in race 2, and third in race 1.
Abby Pulling. She is slaying the game.
Slaying.
She's like the Max Verstappen of F1 Academy.
Yes.
Domination.
And she drives for Alpine.
Yeah, I reckon she will be. It's the good thing about Alpine at the moment.
I was about to say, what did you say about Alpine before? At least someone's doing well. Can we say that?
Yes,
I'll cut that
okay,
out.
yes, I did say that. Yes, at least but it is true. At least they have like a good element part of their team, and obviously something is
Yeah, the
performing
girls.
right for them.
Yes, exactly.
And clearly it's the girls, and go the girls.
Well,
As
we
it
did see
should be.
we will get onto that, but we did see a point
Woo!
in F1.
They're first.
A
First
point. Whoop, whoop.
Now, one of the big things, of course, across the weekend, everyone wanted to know what Adrian Newey was up to. I mean, he's a super consultant for Red Bull, so he only works, I think it's 112 days a year.
Oh,
So he actually doesn't go to every race.
what a lie.
He just sort of pops up where he needs, but he
Getting
was,
paid millions.
I know. He was going to
Well,
Miami.
he did say, I'm very fortunate. I remember watching, I'm very fortunate to be someone that doesn't need to work to live.
Yeah.
I just work because I enjoy it.
Yeah, that was his conversation with Martin, and he was
Yep.
saying that he wants to retire, but
And get a
then-
camper van and
Yes.
travel around with his wife around France.
That's
Yes.
right. He said that he wants.
Bless
I
your
didn't actually
soul.
see that.
We're going to see this like supercharged like camper van. Like
This Red Bull
Yeah.
camper van.
That's
Oh
right.
my God.
Yeah, I forgot about that point. But then it was also brought up across the weekend. It's actually quite interesting that he can leave Red Bull officially in that first quarter of 2025. And someone brought up, well, it just says within the first quarter. There's no actual date, so it could just be January 1st.
Yeah.
Out, boom, see ya. And off to Ferrari.
But then also, I guess it's not really going to make a difference when he leaves next
No,
year.
it's not. I mean, who knows how involved he is.
Yeah.
The smile that Lewis gave, I reckon Lewis was just playing into it when they asked Lewis during the press conference, would you like to work with Adrian Newey? And he's like, oh, it'd be
We've seen what happens
amazing."
when those like devious smiles go around.
Yeah.
Those
What's that?
press conferences.
That thing from that TV show on Netflix. That thing from that TV show on Netflix.
Netflix is getting a lot of mentions today.
Netflix, hey, do you want a F1 show?
Where it goes, that smile. It's all started with that damn smile.
Oh yeah, what's that from?
What is that?
I don't know,
Something
that
from rom-com.
teenage show that had the girl that killed her. It's anyway.
Well,
That show on
speaking of a
Netflix.
smile,
That
speaking of a
70s
smile,
show.
I feel like I rewinded about 3 times just to see Adrian Newey's face when I think Martin was, he was with Martin
Yeah.
Brundle, and he's like, oh, when were you thinking of leaving? He was like, well, I had thoughts of leaving and over the winter break, and then with everything going on this year, and he kind of,
She's
like
so
He alluded
blasé.
to, yeah,
sort
I
of
know.
pops a smile, and we're like, we all know what you mean.
I was going to say, because Martin's did an interview before that with the other commentators, and Martin was like, I know Adrian, and it's nothing to do with Christian.
Because, that was kind of like blown up in the headlines that what happened with Christian had to do with his departure.
Yeah.
Is it just that he wants, it's kind of like Lewis. Like, why wouldn't you want to go to work for Ferrari?
Exactly.
Surely.
I would.
Finish your career
Why
there.
wouldn't
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
work for Ferrari?
It's just like a bucket list kind of thing.
Literally.
The guy's already
Yeah.
earning so much money. He's lived his life. About to retire. It's like, well, you know what? Let's just switch it up.
But hang on, if we rewind like 2 episodes when I said the same thing, and I was like, he's in Modena, and he's probably at Ferrari doing this, and Pat's like, nah, he doesn't want to move to Italy.
Oh, no, I was like, maybe he's just on a holiday and eating pasta.
Pat's like, he
good
won't want to
Italian
move his wife
pasta.
there.
I mean, if I was her, I'd
Yeah.
love to go
If
to
I'm-
Italy.
I'm sorry, but if
Mrs.
I were
Newey.
married to Adrian Newey, I'd be like, andiamo. My bags are packed. I'm ready. Sono pronta.
Off we go.
Off we go.
Off we go.
I'll just skip into the sunset.
Well, Ed Sheeran was going off on the weekend. Did everyone see him popping around?
His hot lap with George
I
Russell.
know. So he did a grid walk with Ted,
Yeah.
and the whole time they just talked about soccer.
Yeah, I know. I was like, lucky that I like soccer, but I don't know that much about. He was talking about like Norwich.
Yeah, and they just kept
EPL.
going on, and then Ted's like, now, Ed, explain the soccer structure of the schedule of how you got your team's going to
Yeah.
win or something. It went on for like
It went
10
on for too
minutes.
long.
I didn't see that. When
Yeah.
was this?
It was
Oh.
like in between, at some point during the
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the very start of the weekend.
Like
But it
I
just
like
went
soccer, and I
on.
was a bit like, no, not the time.
But his hot lap was so funny. Some of
hot
the
lap
hot
was
laps are
great.
really funny.
I love watching the hot laps.
Same.
Have
I
you
think
seen
that's
Kendall
hilarious.
Jenner's with Lewis's?
No, I
Was that
haven't
this
actually
weekend?
seen that.
No.
Sorry?
That wasn't this weekend, was
Yes,
it?
it was.
Oh, 'cause
Yeah.
I
So
saw she was there.
yeah, so she was there with Tommy Hilfiger, and she did a hot lap with Lewis, and it is actually quite good. And of course, she's probably like the only human in the world that looks incredible in a helmet when they
Oh,
take
for
it off as
sure.
well.
Of course.
And she was like screaming. She's like, Lewis, stop, you can't crash. We have the Met Gala on Monday. I was like, oh, okay. Same.
How's the flex?
Same.
I mean, if
Flex.
I was going to go down, that's probably one way.
Yeah.
I'd
Well,
not happy go down.
Ed
Same
Sheeran
problems.
was
Yeah.
like freaking out. He's like, I don't mind the braking because I know I'm safe. And I was thinking, okay, if I did a hot lap, which I really want to, I would love to. And if I did a hot lap with a driver, I would feel very trusting, very, very trusting. And like, okay, I'm not going to die. No buts. That's what I think. Like it would be terrifying, but I'd be like, well, they do this all the time. So it's okay. It's safe. Right?
Yep. Yep. You say, yeah, I agree with you, but then also I'm like, what would I be like once I'm in the car? Also, when
Just pee your pants.
I think it was George with Ed, and he's like, do you feel sick? Like, let me know if you're going to be sick. And Ed's sitting there going, like looking like he's going to vomit. And I was like, actually, I get really motion sick. I was like, maybe I wouldn't go. Max also made some funky comments about Mercedes. Max, obviously, there's a bit of a rumor going around that, is Max going to get poached to Mercedes? I think they were saying some stupid amount of money, like 250 million Australian
Just a-
dollars or US dollars, whatever
a
it equivalent
cheeky
to it.
250 million.
Yeah, huge. But then Max came out and was like, no, why would I want to not win?
Yeah. Didn't he? He just
Yeah.
is like, I just want to be in the fastest car.
Yeah.
Like, wherever the fastest car is.
He's like, that's, yes, a lot of money, but they're not winning and they're not going to be
Yeah.
winning anytime soon. Like he literally just called a spade a spade. He's like, no,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm done.
But do you remember when people were saying that there was a link with Max's contract and Adrian's?
Mm.
And that how it was like wherever Adrian goes, then Max can leave. I think you just called that out as well. It was like there is absolutely nothing tying us together.
Did he call it out?
Yeah, I swear I saw an article saying that there's no link. There's nothing there.
People kept talking about it, being like, is there a link like all throughout the week in a lot of the interviews? But I wasn't sure if it was actually confirmed or not.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know the contract, so.
Time will tell, but that makes sense. Max wants to win. He's very competitive. I doubt he'll be, I don't know. But I can see that, him not wanting to go somewhere because he just wants to win. But who knows what's going to happen to the Red Bull now that Adrian knew he won't be there and it's...
Well, he's already inspecting the new Ferrari.
Yeah.
How good's that
All
photo?
those photos. He's like,
Yeah. We uploaded it on our Instagram if you haven't seen it. But it's Adrian Newey's
good
got his
one.
hand behind his back and he's just like staring at the Ferrari.
Is that the meme where I was like, I can fix that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can fix that.
You know, like the sloth, it's like, hey, little mama, let me whisper in your
No.
ear.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, little Ferrari, I can help you. But
So true.
speaking of Ferrari, liveries, you know, Elle and I, we spoke about this last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke about, I have lots to say. We spoke about the Ferrari, everything going on with Ferrari and the blue and all the marketing behind it and amazing. And then the liveries came out and what are you guys thinking?
Disappointed. Didn't hate it, but I was disappointed. I think because when you and I were discussing it, we were like, oh, a blue car, like
Yeah.
similar colour to your shirt right now, which is very timely that you are wearing that.
Did she do it on
But-
purpose? Yes.
And then when I saw
Absolutely.
it, I was also like,
Not
now there's
surprised.
too much blue? Like
As in on the car or
on
what?
the car. Like
There
I felt
was
like they
too
went
much on
like
the car.
too far.
So I feel like there wasn't enough.
Luke, who has been on the podcast a couple of times, he did the funniest video on it. And I was like, you were so right. Everything he said was spot on.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss to Luke.
Well,
If you're
speaking,
listening,
Chef's
Luke.
kiss is the Visa RB.
Yes.
Rainbow paddle pop.
It was sick.
It was so good.
I loved it.
So cool.
And they what did they do when they revealed the car? How they
They
when
were
they
like
all spray paint,
spray
spray painting it.
and then it like came through like a car wash.
Yeah.
So cool.
So cool. Oh, yeah, the Ferrari. I was like, whop, whop, whop. Just disappointing. They should have just done the whole car blue.
I don't understand why they didn't.
Whole car blue, or like I said, and the history is that the Ferraris would have like very subtle detailing on the inside with the blue. So it's like, why didn't they do that? Because the blue and the red, it was like, it reminded me of like a Lego car or something.
Yeah. That's why I thought it was like too much. That's why I was like, it's always got to be the whole thing's blue.
Yeah.
Or just like small little details.
Yeah.
Also, the rear wing was so ugly.
Yes, that's what annoyed me the
Oh.
most.
It looked
about
like
it.
a brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An HP printer.
Yeah.
I would just like to say something on HP.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was not wrong. That was
What?
to do with HP. Yes, it's a history.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we put it on
Because they disguised it.
Instagram last week of, you know, me being like, oh, yeah, they did the blue for HP. And Pat's like, no, it's because of the history. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was just like good timing.
They conned me.
Anyway, then I put that on.
Your belief in the history.
Yeah, I put it on Instagram and we got trolled. And people have been like, how do you not know? Like, that was just history. It was not HP. Like, clearly you're not into F1. I'm sorry.
It was
but
a combination of the two.
They
came out.
fucked us over.
Yeah, they came out
Yeah.
and they said this was in honor of our naming sponsor,
Yeah.
HP, and it tied in. And I was like, I thought it
This
was.
Yeah.
this is why I was annoyed and I jumped on TikTok. So I was like, they brought out all these, they made the Instagram look so cool, like all this like blue merch and the blue suits and the boys in blue and talking about the history of how it was Enzo Ferrari's favorite color and when they in the 60s with the race cars and the uniforms. Oh my God, amazing. Oh my God, love this. So exciting. Yes, Miami GP. And then it was actually just, I think it was just a way because remember that video that we saw of the race suits with the blue the original like the red race suits with the blue HP, and I was like, what? That is gross. And this was just their way to trick us.
Yeah.
And
They
to
just
just
wanted to cover it up.
stamp that gross
Knew it.
HP.
And I felt
Yeah.
like such an idiot last week
Yeah.
when I said to you, oh, yeah, and for anyone listening, this is for HP.
Yeah.
And then
It
you
was not.
corrected me. But then also I had other people being like that had
They
listened to
conned
it and
us.
saw that saying, you're an idiot for thinking that it's for HP. I was like,
As well, it's those people.
no.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Get
we
a
don't care
life.
about
The
them.
internet's bothering me this week.
Yeah, the internet's a horrible place.
Just like
sometimes.
Donald Trump in McLaren garage, but we can leave that one at that spot. If anyone wants to know why Donald Trump was in McLaren, we have no fucking idea.
I'll ask ChatGPT.
What are your thoughts
Hey,
on
hey.
Donald Trump being in the garage?
I just think it was weird.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't expect him in an F1 race.
No,
No.
it was
It's
just
like, oh.
So many cool people you
Huh?
can invite and you invite him.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm not into American politics, but is he big in Florida or actually I think he might
Florida.
be. I don't
No,
know.
Yeah,
usually,
no.
Or is it
I
usually
think
Austin
he's
that
not.
big?
Yeah.
Oh, he's big in Austin that way.
Yeah. Yeah. He's big in Austin, Texas. Big.
Interesting.
How did his little wig stay on?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he's friends with
Let's
Zach
put
Brown.
Donald Trump
The
in the
car's
hot
going
lap.
so fast. His
Some
little
super glue. Can you imagine if he was waving the checkered flag?
The
wig
Oh my
falls,
God.
flies
People
up.
would just like cancel F1.
low-key pay to see that.
Oh, Mario Andretti sounded like he was going to cancel the F1.
Oh
How
my
he
God.
was talking to Martin Brundle. I'm not sure if you guys caught that conversation, but he was like, "We will be on the grid in 2026."
I hope he's on the grid in 2026.
Well, did you say
Like,
US
that's
Congress?
not far away.
Yeah.
That's what Martin was asking
wrote a
about.
letter,
He was
yeah.
like, "How did you get the US Congress involved?" He goes, "Because they believe in us." And he's like, "If you don't believe us, come see us at Silverstone, like
Oh, dear.
because their new facility that they're building." I mean, you
They
said
don't-
it, Amy, the other week. Manifesting.
They are.
Yeah.
They are hardcore manifesting. They're going to do it. Surely not. Like,
Yeah.
surely they're not going to do it.
I think it'll happen.
That didn't make
They're
sense.
investing so much money into
think
it. I
it'll
feel like they
happen.
have to.
But it's really sad. Like, no one wants you.
That annoying, like, X, it just keeps coming back.
Oh.
And you're like, get the gist. And they're like,
yeah.
no,
Or just like, ugh, yeah.
I'm here.
Yep.
I can just like imagine them standing in the corner, just like, like creepy smile. Like,
That person, you've just like politely asked multiple times.
Leave
I
me
think it's
alone."
best you leave.
Yeah.
They're
Just
like,
don't get the hint.
like, no, what's that?
But lots of news this weekend, but let's dive into the weekend. As in the race weekend.
The confusion of a
Yeah.
sprint weekend.
We're going to do it a bit differently today, aren't we?
Yes, we're going to go team by team. Just try out a different format. You guys let us know if you like it. Our, highlights, I guess, from each team, performance over the weekend.
Try and see what works.
Yeah, because obviously there's reason for trying to do it this way. A lot of shit happened over the weekend. And also when we throw in a sprint,
Mm-hmm.
there's, we could be talking about the race and then someone could be thinking about the sprint race.
Yep.
So, and then there's
The
two different qualifying
qualifying.
sessions.
Yeah.
SQ1, SQ2, SQ3, qualifying one, qualifying two, qualifying three.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Sprint race,
So we
normal
need to-
race.
we need to break it down.
Everything. Even I get confused. Like,
Yeah.
you'll say something, and I'm like, was that which, where, when, what?
Yeah, that was me
When
last
did that
week. I
happen?
like
Yeah.
short circuited
Yeah.
and was like,
But also, why would they do two sprints in
I
a
know,
row?
back-to-back sprint.
Like,
Although I liked
damn.
Miami with the sprint. Not
The
gonna
Miami-
lie.
Yeah,
the sprint was great.
I liked that.
I'm really like just speaking as an umbrella of this weekend. I really loved this weekend.
Me too.
I loved Miami circuit so much more this year than last year.
Now
And,
people
yeah.
aren't going to be able to talk shit on it
Yeah.
because that's what everyone loved to do. They used to say how bad Miami
Yeah.
is. Now it's like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
They presented the whole weekend so well.
Yeah.
Like
Except
every
for
little
the food prices.
Except for the food prices.
Oh my god, we haven't even discussed the food prices.
170 US for like a burger.
No, nachos.
Was it
USD for
nachos?
180 USD for nachos.
Or you can get a lovely lobster roll for 280 USD.
I think you get some caviar for 500.
It's 400. Yeah, it was like add
400?
caviar. An ounce of caviar,
yeah.
$400.
And the caviar's probably warm and disgusting. You're going to end
Ugh.
up shitting your pants all day.
Yeah,
Absolutely fucked.
horrific. Horrific.
much fun.
It's times like this where you just think how thankful for our Melbourne Grand Prix and how well they organise it and like the incredible job that they do. I obviously at events prices are always going to be inflated. Unfortunately, it is that way, but you could get like a really good pizza and we got some great food at OzGP and yeah, it's like a little bit inflated, but it's expected and it was so good and
Yeah.
affordable. Like you can find affordable things around the track. And also we have free water access.
I know. their
Free.
water
America,
was-
take note. Free
Yeah.
water.
Between 12 and 25 USD for a bottle of water.
Oh my God, I'd be like a little
It's like $40.
dehydrated
Yeah.
snail in the corner. Just
Yeah.
Just be the skin.
Yeah. Drinking from a puddle. Like,
Yeah. Oh my God. Like a lizard. I'd be running around to tables being like, oh, there's half a roll there. Let me just scoop that up. Anyway.
Well, after 110 Grand Prix starts,
it's a nice number.
our little
is nice.
Lando Norris. It was enough for little
So
Lando
I was about to say
Norris.
that.
Yeah.
Is that what the line
Yeah.
is? It was
It's
enough.
all too much for little Lando
It was all
Norris.
too 110 was all too much for little Lando Norris of not getting a win. Because boom, he got the win.
Finally. It just unraveled so well for him.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a very happy moment. And it wasn't like when Carlos won Melbourne and he beat Max.
Mm.
It was like, yes, someone beat Max.
Mm.
But there was just none of
that. None
Yeah.
of that.
Everyone was just so stoked.
He
for Lando.
finally got his
And
first win.
Everyone sought him out, each driver, to say congratulations.
Oh, everyone
like,
was so happy.
and Max would go. Max even said, he goes, if there's someone that's going to beat me, it needs to be Lando.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, did you see Max spraying Lando with
Yeah.
the champagne?
Oh,
He's like getting under him.
Yeah.
like,
Max and Charles, like, they
Yeah.
jumped it just before they were even supposed to, because it's like they looked at each other being like, nah, we're
Yeah,
getting him.
go.
So we can get him before
and
he
he
does
wanted
his
to do his,
Yeah.
and I was watching him and I was like, oh my God, I feel his pain, because I was telling Peter, like, I think getting champagne in the eye is one of the most painful things. It stings so much, and he's like trying to wipe it, and I could feel his pain. I'm like, I just want him to do his winning spike.
And
That was a good
his
spike.
dive onto
And then
his
he-
team
yeah.
as
That was
well.
a great spike.
Oh yeah, when he got out of the car and
The
drove onto the
tears.
team.
We were saying before, like, when he gets out of his car and he runs to the team and he jumps up, we're like, fuck, he and Amy should team up for
Yeah.
jumping capabilities,
Yeah.
because he soared.
It's like a little kangaroo.
I can be his coach.
I think right
Feel a
now,
little.
yeah,
stuff
I'll
on the
teach you.
ground.
I can get your knee drive up. We'll get you further.
I
High jump,
watched
triple
that.
jump, one or the other.
I felt like right now I feel so just heavy and just not
That's because
As
Pat's
Kate-
pregnant, just
yeah,
in case anyone's wondering.
yeah, as capable as what I normally am. And just watching that, I'm like, oh, I miss being able to jump high. Like
Part of me wanted to,
You know, feeling like
to do
limber.
that. I was like, how could I practice doing that right now?
And when he like,
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna. No, it's just a very funny thing. Like thinking of, like wanting to jump. Have you ever seen a baby
and they're like,
try and jump but not know how they're
Yeah,
jumping?
that's me right now.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
But when him and Andreas died, Stella just hugged.
Mm.
Oh my God. So beautiful.
And
Well-
didn't he dedicate the win to his
His
parents and his
grandma.
grandma?
I know. It was nice. No, you never hear anyone dedicating the win to anyone.
Yeah.
So it was nice that he did that. He really sort of brought that
Yeah,
back.
shout out to Lando's grandma.
Yeah. But yeah, it's 539 days since a non-Red Bull or Ferrari driver has won.
Wow.
539 days. Like last McLaren win was Monza.
It was Daniel Ricciardo.
Daniel Ricciardo, 2021.
Wow.
That's a long time.
It's COVID times.
I think
Yeah.
that's also, it's the first time in a long time since we've heard the British anthem.
Oh my gosh.
True.
Yes.
Even I was watching and I was like,
This
song
sounds
sound
weird.
familiar.
Yeah.
What is this? I was like, oh yeah, it's a British anthem.
Wow. It's
I
not the
feel
Dutch
like
anthem or the Spanish.
Yeah.
Huh. What is this? It's a remix.
Do you feel like is it going to be, because obviously it's an expensive weekend for Lando because he got a lovely fine at the beginning of the weekend.
€50,000 fine.
Euro.
Did I say euro dollar?
Yeah.
A €50,000 fine, a €50,000 fine.
Which
For
is
crossing
almost
the
100,000
track.
Australian dollars.
Yes.
And then I was thinking about how much money he spent celebrating.
Oh my God, he's been so. Imagine the amount of bottles of like Don Julio and like classes all that be going around.
Oh.
Oh, girl, he lost all that money. His prize money this weekend is all gone on that fine and on
Actually,
that celebration.
Yeah. At the end of the of the broadcast, they were I can't remember who was interviewing him, and he was saying how that he's like, oh, I thought I was flying out tonight, but I'm actually flying out tomorrow. So I love his honesty. He's like, I'm not going to be sleeping. I was like,
Pop off, King.
yes. And I love his honesty.
What's Martin Garrix doing? I wonder if he would. Was he there? Did he fly over? I know John Summit was playing. Oh my God, that set would have been so good.
Well,
I can imagine
actually,
that.
has he posted anything? I wish I could be in his close friends or something so I could just see
That'd be
what he
so
was
much
doing.
fun.
Well, McLaren obviously performed very well. Shining moments, obviously, the race for Lando. They had,
Unsung hero.
yeah, 10 upgrades brought to the cars for the whole
Yeah.
weekend. But Oscar, that was Oscar.
That was such a good drive.
I know.
He
And
drove so well.
the way he defended Carlos
Yeah.
was incredible.
Mhm.
And he just got clipped by Carlos,
Yeah.
wing damage, went to go
And
change
off he
it
went.
from the safety car, and it screwed him around.
Yeah.
And
then-
then so sad.
And then he was fighting Danny.
I
and
actually really enjoyed watching
Yeah.
that battle.
It
I
was
was like,
great little Aussie battle, but then like
Yeah.
the team was like, Oscar, stop.
don't you dare cause a safety car.
Lando's about to win. Stop.
It's like the naughty child. Like, give me your hand and knock it off. He's like, okay.
Yeah, I think Oscar was like, oh, okay, I'll stop. Like,
Yeah.
I think
That
it was
would've
just
been
like, I give
devastating.
up trying to even climb. Let's
Yeah.
just let. It was like the rest of the grid was like, you just have your moment, Lando.
Literally.
Just you deserve it. Everyone just back off.
Yeah.
Imagine if that was on the radio. Everyone would have been like, everyone was Lando's switch. Just turn it off. And
Yeah.
everyone was like, everyone going to let him win.
Even like, I was thinking, like, at one point I said, I was like, Verstappen, you asshole, just let your friend win.
Yeah.
So that's probably good move into talking about Red Bull now, because I did have a question I wanted to ask you guys,
Mm-hmm.
because I couldn't quite work it out. And Red Bull is saying that, I mean, Max had floor damage from hitting that cone, lol. But
His first mistake in
how
like 3
could
years.
Max, in the car that he is in and the incredible driver he is, not
see a
catch Lando?
cone. Oh, not see a
No,
cone.
not see a cone. Yeah, that too, but also not catch Lando.
Oh, I think
And
the
actually
upgrades were
yeah.
just.
Get more distance. Yeah, I know, but it's Max and Red
I know,
Bull.
because that was my fear as well, was that I think there was about 20-something laps to go
Yeah.
from when, but he
He just held him off.
he took
But he kept
so
the
much
distance kept
advantage
getting
of that
further and
safety
further.
car because he pitted,
Mm.
got out the perfect time. At one point they were saying like
Oh, yeah,
Lando had
everyone.
like completely
He almost
taken
lapped
off.
everyone,
Yeah, he
didn't
almost
he?
lapped everyone, and they were
Mm.
saying like, "Are we gonna have to then start?" Because he basically almost like lapped everyone,
Yeah.
and then
And the safety car
And
had
then
to
the safety
collect all the
car.
cars.
collected
and then
everyone
let
and stopped,
them
and
go.
then-
Yeah.
and then
then
they had
he
to
kept-
catch Lando. And
Yeah.
then they kept going.
so that's it was just like,
Yeah.
what's the opposite of a perfect storm?
A shitstorm.
No.
Like a perfect. Well, it was a
The
perfect
perfect
storm.
storm,
Yeah,
yeah.
the perfect storm. Yeah,
Storm?
yeah,
yeah,
that is the opposite.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
It
what it
was
was,
a
isn't it?
perfect
Yeah.
storm for.
I
But
just still don't
as well,
understand.
with how Oscar was just like clung to the back of Max,
Mm.
and they told
Mm.
Max to pick up the pace
Yeah,
Mm.
because Oscar was just a little steam train
yeah.
behind
He was
him.
holding on to him like a
Yeah,
skater holding onto the back
I'm
of it.
coming.
So do we believe floor damage was real in Max's car?
No,
I think there would have been a little bit, but it was a cone. Chill out.
it was like a plastic cone.
How-
Although, yeah,
How funny was it when you actually watch the footage and you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a bit.
yeah.
I
I,
mean-
know initially when I saw there was something on the track, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Mm.
And then he's like, "I have Kita cone."
Yeah, I was like, what is there a cone doing on the track? It's actually quite a tight
Yeah.
chicane.
But then,
What a random mistake to make.
yeah. But then, do you remember
See,
when?
this is what I'm saying. It's all a little bit too random.
I thought it was.
Am
weird.
I going down the conspiracy theory now of it's too
I-
random?
No, no.
And Max could have caught Lando. There was like 10 seconds plus difference.
Because
That-
it's not like he's done that so many times before. He's been
He-
fighting at the back of the grid. And
Last year in
made his way
Miami,
all the way
he
through.
started in ninth and he
Exactly.
finished first. So this is what I'm saying. We know Max has the capabilities.
But my conspiracy to add to this,
Yeah.
isn't it just a little quinky dink that it all happens when Adrian Newey announces he's leaving?
Adrian Newey put the cone there.
Well,
he
ran on the-
mid race. No one could see. He just went.
It just
I don't know.
something that's not adding up there.
I just sometimes I just don't believe in coincidences.
No, let him have his win.
We've discussed this before that there's got to be some element, and we will know in 10 plus years time of each race that there is some fixing, and we know that there's possibly something that happened with
Max Verstappen
that
would
situation
never.
in Singapore. No, you don't know.
Never. He's the most straighty 180 person, and on top of that, he's the most competitive person.
I think the biggest straighty 180 is George Russell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Max is close though.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, I think Max is more straighty
Do
180.
you think?
100%.
I feel like
He's just so touched.
George is like a little dibbed up a Cindy.
Yeah.
Kindy.
Yeah, I get that.
Well,
I get
that was,
vibe.
and speaking of the cone, when Lewis Hamilton was like, I can't see anything. I was like, are you being dramatic? Because I remember I messaged in our group. I was like, I would love to be sitting in this car and seeing what he can see. I was like, I want a driver's footage. How can you not see?
All right.
I don't know. I just.
Actually, one more thing about Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
Max Verstappen there's a lot of complaining coming from him this weekend.
There's
And
always
when
complaining
he,
coming
and
from
when
him.
he got pole in sprint quali, pole in sprint quali,
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't believe that he got it, and he was just complaining about how he was complaining to the team,
Oh.
and the team were kind of like, yeah, you got pole. He's like, well, I don't know how, but okay.
Wasn't he like what happened to everyone else?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just convinced, like Max, he's in standby mode. Like the
Because
first two qualifying sessions, he's like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
float around, and then when it comes to the last one, he just
But he was
crazy.
complaining about the grip, and I think that was sort of across the board. All drivers are complaining about the grip over the weekend.
Well, it's a track, Miami's a track that's rarely used, not even for
The last time it was used was last year.
Yeah. So they say that even though you get the odd drive on there, it collects a lot of dust and grit on it,
Yeah.
and then nothing's worn down. So when they were doing practice and then into sprint quali, like everyone was, really testing out those
complaints all
tires.
around.
Yeah.
It was not going to be easier for them.
No.
Which is why that kind of I got confused when a certain driver came out in soft tires for the race.
Yes.
Who was that? Why did you do that? Bottas.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Oh, we'll
Yes.
get
So
into
I'll get
that.
into that.
But Visa Cash App.
RB.
Visa RB.
It could-
best car.
Visa Cash App.
Could have
Best
been
looking car.
Daniel Ricciardo's weekend. It was so close to being Daniel
I'm sorry.
Ricciardo's weekend.
It could have been Daniel's weekend.
Yeah, it was so close.
I had to take a double take when I saw in sprint qualifying that he was it fourth? I think it was,
Yeah.
and then he came fourth in the sprint.
Qualified fourth, came fourth.
And I was like, what?
It just shows you that he still has something there, but he's
Yeah.
got like some sort of a block.
Did you see
Yeah.
his savageness to Danica Patrick?
No.
So
What?
Danica's been going on like very hardcore, saying Daniel is done. Like he is out, he is finished.
Danica's done.
Blah, 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 going on. Yeah. And then a lot of people saying that about her. Anyways, she was interviewing him afterwards and he goes,
As in, like, I know that we've had opinions at times, but we're also not F1 commentators.
Yeah.
so Danica's interviewing Daniel afterwards, after the sprint, and he pretty much goes, oh, I know I had it in me. And also, it's nice to shut down some people. I was like, oh.
Pop off king. So here for that.
Literally. And then obviously he had
Can
a
you imagine
shocking
her?
qualifying.
Yeah. Oh God. And it kind of shows you as well how unpredictable the sport is.
Literally.
Like
It's
so
like the
well
exact
one
same
day.
track, exact same.
Conditions
car,
were basically
conditions.
exactly the same. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
at one point watching the actual race, I looked on the time sheet and I was like, where is he? Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Like, how are you all the way down there?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, where did you come from? I was like, fucking hell.
Just knock it off.
But then you see like Yuki sort of climbing up and Yuki got points.
Yuki did so
Yeah.
well.
I mean,
So well.
he had a relatively clean race. Nothing happened. He
Just,
just hung in there and he was like,
Started off in 10th position
mm.
and then finished in 7th. And I solid 6 points.
he was just like, arigato gozaimasu.
Yes.
Love Yuki.
Mm.
Showed up, Danny.
Now, what do you guys think of Aston Martin? That was a big sigh into the microphone.
Just not Stroll.
Yeah, I'm just so off him. Stroll needs to go.
Okay, so
Sorry,
obviously,
that literally is written on our notes.
Stroll needs to go.
Yes.
so there was the incident in turn one incident of the actual race where I personally think it's actually Lewis's fault. So Lewis was trying to come up on the inside on turn one, and he thought he could get through. Was this the race?
I can't remember.
No,
what
this
one.
is the
Is
sprint.
sprint.
This
Sprint,
is the
yeah.
sprint.
Sprint.
I was like, hang on, no, because Lando
Sprint
came out
race.
because of this. Yeah, this is the sprint. So yeah, Lewis is trying to come in on the inside from turn one, and there's not enough room. You can see on the camera. Like,
Yeah.
where is Lewis think he's getting this room? Because at the same time, Lance is coming into the corner, and then he's got Alonso on the inside of him as well, who's next to on the other side of Lewis, and then as a result, they all clash. But Lando's the one that fucking copped it.
Yeah,
And he was see you later in the sprint.
that's right.
Yeah.
And
Fastest qualifying time, and then
Yeah.
because of all that.
Everyone was getting cranky at Stroll, but I actually reckon it's Lewis's fault. But I reckon, though, still, I think Lance is done.
So
I just feel like he's been done for a long time.
no time for him. This
we read the comments last weekend about Daddy.
Daddy
All of them
Stroll.
said Daddy Stroll. And I just think it's true.
Daddy Stroll, I want Adrian Newey. That sounded bad. I mean, like, to work.
That was so good.
That's really good. God,
Daddy.
it was very Veronica,
Yeah.
whatever her name is
Veruca
from
Salt.
Yeah, Veruca Salt. So that's right.
Solid.
What about Williams? I mean, you're finally back in the studio, and
Yeah, the
we've
one-
had a little bit of a bitch about Logan whilst
Oh my
you've been
god,
away.
did you? Of course
But
you
we
did. Because
feel
you knew I'd just go
bad.
in and no defending him.
No.
I do feel for him.
But how many DNFs is
It's
that
so
this year?
sad.
But it wasn't his fault.
That was not his fault.
It wasn't, but I think it kind of was his fault.
I don't think it was.
It's just like
He should have known better.
No, I thought it was K-Mac's fault.
so did I.
Yep.
I just
And he out-qualified Alex Albon.
Yeah, I know, but that was because Alex had his lap time deleted.
Yeah. But still, this is a sprint quali, sorry. But my heart
win's a win.
broke. A win's a win, yeah. My heart broke for him. Like,
Home race.
Home race. I was like, no, I'm really sad for Logan.
it's like at what point does he give up, but also will like James Vowles just say, okay, no.
Enough's enough.
Yeah, I can't.
Well,
We
I guess
can't
we'll
keep
find
going
out
on like this.
in Imola.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
the Kimi Antonelli shit. Surely not.
Yeah, then I
I
did hear at the end of
can't.
the broadcasting, I can't remember who, but someone was shutting it down. So
Well,
Mate,
apparently
I
they're
just
working on
wanna-
his super license.
You see, I don't understand why the guy hasn't. He's like driven an F2. How many races has he had an F2?
yeah, if any.
And now everyone's saying he's like this prodigy child. Like where, how, when, who said this? Where has he shown that he can drive like this?
Yeah.
I just don't understand. There are so many other drivers that could jump into the seat that have experience in F1 cars.
Yeah.
Maybe this is his time to try it.
But then we've also seen what happens when you put a driver into a seat when he's not ready.
Oh, yeah.
Logan.
I was
Yeah.
going to say Nick DeVries.
Oh, I was
And
also
Nick
saying
DeVries.
I mean, they said Nick DeVries was given too long of a chance. Logan's sort of similar. I think he's had his chance.
Yeah.
And what would his damage be right now? Remember we were reading out his damage bill
Oh, my
last
gosh.
year.
We
and he
need to
was
do
fuck-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do
Can
that.
you look that up
Yeah.
quickly? Because Amy, you were
Yeah.
keeping a tally of the
Yeah.
damage scores last year, and Logan's damage to Williams was astronomical in the millions. And we are only
They need money to fix their car.
a few races in.
Poor things couldn't even afford a new chassis for him.
Oh,
So
who had
maybe-
a comment about that? I think one of the
Oh,
drivers was
yeah,
like,
that-
but they have a spare chassis now. That's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, that was Max to Lando
Oh, that's it,
in
yeah.
Max's podcast room.
But at
afterwards.
least now that I'm thinking about that, and we're kind of circling back, but yeah, Logan's cost them a lot of money. So fair enough that Albon got to drive at Melbourne GP.
this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And how many fucking times
Sorry,
has he
Amy.
fucked that car? I mean, look, the best thing about Logan crashing out and hitting that wall, it was a big hit, by the way. So thank God he was okay. But it caused a safety car at the right time. We'd had virtual safety cars because of the cone incident
The coon.
and the lagoon. And this safety car then resulted in some new things,
Yeah.
which was Lando winning. It did mean that obviously Oscar didn't get on a podium chance, which he may have had if that wasn't there, but Lando won.
Do you think Lando would have won if the safety cars didn't happen at those times?
No.
Mm.
No way.
No, I think he would have come second.
Like we said, it was a
Yeah.
perfect storm.
We had a lot of people commenting on Instagram saying, Lando's going to win. And I was like, he's in second. And I was just putting it up. And then when the safety car happened, I was like, actually, shit.
Yeah. Do you know something I
One-
forgot to mention before just because we touched on Red Bull, but we didn't really speak about Checo. Terrible race for Checo.
Oh,
Terrible
that,
weekend
that
for Checo.
turn one.
Oh,
what did he
God.
do?
What
He
did he-
just, you do know that's the shortest run to turn one. It's like 170 meters.
Yeah.
And he just flies up the inside and locks up and just goes straight down the middle.
yeah.
He locked up a few times over the weekend. Actually,
Yeah.
a lot of them were locked up over the weekend. Now, steak. Kicksteak Sauber.
Pop, pop. Bottas was the only one that went out on soft tires. The track was like 47 degrees.
Yeah.
What are you doing on soft tires?
What was the strategy there? Was that so he could just get them out of the way as quick as possible? Warm
I don't
them up and
know.
get them off?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then move to the hard tires because he knew he was going to last in the hard
Yeah.
tires the whole time?
I don't know.
Maybe.
That's what I thought it was weird. I
That
thought it was an
makes
interesting
kind
Oh,
of
strategy.
yeah,
makes
it's a very
sense.
odd strategy, but
Yeah.
I guess they had to use them. I don't know. But then even the new race engineer
What happened?
in what qualifying session was it? One of the qualifying sessions. Was it sprint or the normal?
Oh, this
He
is
just
this
on
is
his
in
flying
sprint
like,
quali,
was sprint qualifying.
Yeah.
Cool down his tires and stuff, and then Piastri was coming in on the inside, but his race engineer didn't let Bottas know that Piastri was coming on the inside, and there was almost a collision. And I was like, oh my god, Audi replaced his race engineer, and that was his first like act on
Oh, dear.
active duty. Is that it?
Yeah.
Active duty.
Active duty? Yeah.
Yeah.
Active duty.
Yeah.
And forgot
Does that
to
make
warn
sense?
him. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And
and I
forgot
forgot
to warn him. Idiot.
Well done.
Idiot.
Good job.
Idiot.
How is he still there? I don't know.
First day on the job.
How was Joe Granier
Terrible.
also still there?
Oh, Joe.
Poor Joe.
Really?
Poor Joe. Because
Joe.
of money.
Why?
Money, money, money,
Why? 'Cause
money.
he's not doing anything.
Yeah, well, neither of them have. They're still also on 0 points. So the race, who do we think is going to get points first, Williams or Stake?
Steak.
Williams.
Excellent.
Alex. Imagine.
I'm going to hold you to that one. I want to bet like a bottle of wine or something like that on that one.
Yeah, so you think Alex, and who do you think?
Steak.
But who?
Bottas.
Okay.
Valtteri.
Okay, I'll be the judge.
Only because I'm
Like Imola, please.
I will remember
be
that
the-
one.
I will write that down.
All right, Pat, your team. All right.
Ferrari.
Ferrari.
We've already
Pat, your
touched on that.
team.
Horrific livery. Not a great tyre strategy for the race, that's for sure. Charles went for a swim, spun out, so no practice for him.
But he did so well to then qualify P2. isn't it?
Yeah.
No practice.
No
Qualified P2.
practice. Qualified P2.
Good job.
Yeah, well done, Charles. Could have won, maybe. But because of, technically he could have won the race if Ferrari had a better tyre strategy and if he worked with the virtual safety car. It was just luck that Norris got that. But I'm sorry, I'm not taking it away from you. Norris deserves it so much. But yeah, it wasn't the best weekend for Ferrari. Like they'd qualified second and third. And
Yeah, and then they got second and fourth, wasn't it? And then
Yeah.
Carlos, and the race was demoted to fifth afterwards.
yeah.
For his incident.
Incident.
Oscar.
Yeah, so that's when he made
Oscar
contact with
Piastri.
Oscar, and Oscar obviously had damage to his wing, and then that's when he had to pit and got screwed over by
Yeah.
the safety car. So 5-second penalty to Carlos.
Not great. Not great. Remember last weekend we mentioned how good it would be to see. I'm happy what the podium was, but we wanted to see a sandwich of the two blue suits, the two Ferrari blue suits against Red Bull, and they had the potential, but yeah, not a great weekend
Yeah.
for Ferrari. Obviously, Charles was on podium. Still great that he got points. But yeah, all in all, yeah, it could have been better.
Well, Alpine had a good weekend. First
First-
points of the season.
Finally.
Woohoo!
Yay.
1 point.
It's welcome to the 1 point club.
Yeah.
How many of them are on 1 point?
It's a
Let me have
very
a
good
look.
question.
Let's have a look.
Whilst you're looking that up, we got to chat about Esty.
Just them.
Is it just them?
Is it just him?
Oh, have,
'Cause
you, have you
Haas-
got it up already?
Yeah, Haas has 7
Jeez.
points.
That was
So
quick.
I was looking at it before.
There you go. Well,
Oh.
Esty Bestie and it's
Gosh,
funny.
RB's already up to 19 points.
Wait, no, K-Mag's on 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but as a team.
Oh,
Yeah,
as a team.
yeah,
Oh,
team.
okay.
Yeah.
So Esty Bestie and Gasly, they went wheel to wheel in the race on Sunday.
Please,
which
just
was-
separate these two. Someone.
Everyone else is in, a nice little pretty line collecting each other, and these two are going at it wheel to wheel, going around corners. It's like, hang on, one of you is about to go fucking into the wall.
Someone needs to separate them.
They did have upgrades for the weekend.
They did have upgrades.
What, did you see that meme? And it was what movie is it from? Where 2 kids are in the one shirt, like you and like your really big shirt, but then like they're sharing the shirt, so both their heads are coming out here. And it was
Yeah.
like our get along shirt, and they're both like crying, and it was like for them,
They need that.
the Alpine boys.
They
That-
need that.
That's
what you
honestly
need.
what they looked like
Yeah.
all weekend. They were just like fighting each other.
Yeah.
Fight
Wow,
club.
what kind of wonder what's going on
Mm.
under the surface?
The
'Cause I
French.
feel like if there's
Yeah. I just.
TV
The French fighting the French.
Yeah. I
Probably.
just think
fighting
there's
with
a just.
baguettes.
I just don't think they're just not each other's people.
Mm.
They just they butt heads too much. They don't get along. There's a bit of like rivalry, a bit of tension. That yeah.
I was
And that's
excited
fine,
for
that
Esty
happens.
Bestie though.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's a story as old as time. Like teammates not getting along.
Mm.
Like we've seen it for how many years, but I just want them to be separated.
Well, they
Just-
might be.
Yeah.
They might be into this year.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe middle of this year. Who knows?
I wonder if we'll see many swap-a-doodle doos in the middle of the season.
Can't wait. It's all
Can't
gonna go
wait.
Fold.
It's not that far away.
No,
Mm.
it's not, and that's
It's
what
quite
Lewis
terrifying.
was saying. And as we chat about Mercedes now, Lewis was saying, he goes, I guess I kicked it off, but Alonso really kicked it off.
Mm.
Within
Mm.
Kevin Magnussen, also not Kevin Magnussen, Nico
Nico,
Hulkenberg
yeah.
Mm.
making
Throwing a
his point.
Stake.
Yeah.
Stake? Yeah.
Stake
stake.
into
Yeah.
Audi, yeah.
Yeah, Mercedes not a great weekend for Mercedes.
Oh,
They had
damn.
upgrades. Didn't see much.
Hmm. It was the first
No.
time they were into Q3 in Miami, though, so that was a plus.
Yeah, but that was
Q3 is like not an achievement for Mercedes. Though.
I know.
No,
But in Miami,
Yeah.
they were
Yes.
not in Miami, bitch. Nothing this weekend.
Don't know where you guys were.
Yeah. Where were
Back
you?
home, and
Yeah, literally. But Haas
Oh, so much to say.
I love K-Mag.
was K-Mag a
Ugh.
tool or not? So he walked away at the end of the weekend with 7 different penalties.
I was going to say,
it
who is the
7?
person that collected the most this weekend? The
Who?
most.
K-Mag,
K-Mag.
100% K-Mag.
I wonder if he's just so close to being done with his career and retiring. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to call the ruckus.
The Mr. Bean. He's
Yeah.
like,
Well, so K-Mag said after the sprint, he had 4 penalties at this point. He said that his driving, even though it may have been reckless or whatnot, it's what got his team some points in the sprint.
Mm.
Because if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have got that. Especially him like defending Lewis Hamilton and racing all of that. So, and then in the actual race, he got another 20 seconds handed to him, and he's about to get a ban.
Yeah, I was just about to say he's
Yeah.
about to get a race ban.
Yeah, he's on the
All
fringe.
of Kevin Magnussen's penalties during the Miami Grand Prix.
here we go. Read him out, Ames.
10-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage in the sprint in the Lewis Hamilton battle. 10-second time penalty for leaving the track, getting an advantage. Oh, so there's 2 of them.
Mhm.
Two for the same.
Yeah,
3 for the same thing.
yeah, he did the same thing a few times.
But then gets a penalty for those 3 because he's had 3. So you get a penalty for the 3. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll just keep going. A 5-second time penalty for leaving the track without a justifiable reason. 10-second time penalty for the Logan Sargent collision. 2 penalty points for the Sargent collision. Drive-through penalty converted to 20-second time penalty for entering the pits behind the safety car and not changing tyres. There you go.
There you
Wait,
go.
is that it? 8.
Is that it?
Oh, it's 8, not 7.
8.
There you go.
This is 8.
Yeah. So sorry.
So
I must have-
update. It's actually 8.
it's update. I
Yeah.
must have missed one there.
That's 8.
I thought 7 was a lot already.
No, because that make 7 would have made sense because the first 3
yeah.
are 10 seconds with Lewis Hamilton, but the 4th one is a penalty for the 3 incidents above, which is so bizarre.
It's nuts.
It's a lot.
Anyway, so he's about to get a race ban. So he's on the verge
He's
of
so
it anyway.
unhinged.
Kind of love it. We put it on. I love listening to what our community says and
same.
reading what they say. And sometimes I put up the individual comments that we get because they just, deserve their own Instagram story. But lately I've just been screen grabbing the whole thing and just putting it up because there's so many different collective thoughts. What do you guys think of it when you see it? Because I put, what did everyone think of K-Mag? And so many people said, he's bullshit. He's at racing amazingly. I used to hate, he's no longer the most hated driver on the grid, or now he's the most hated driver on the grid.
I don't think it's hated.
Madeline White, who is a big TikToker and big into F1, she was blasting K-Mag
Was she?
on her TikTok. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
No.
Yeah, she was like, now K-Mag's moving into the most hated driver on the grid from
Ooh,
me.
Savage.
I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Brutal.
Mm.
I just feel like he's been around for long enough. Like he knows better. And I'm like, why? What is the reason?
It took away from the attention though that Nico Hülkenberg did like pretty well
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
race weekend as well.
It
Yeah.
did.
Like
I
he's,
found it kind of amusing, to be honest.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny to watch.
I thought it added to
Yeah.
good racing. Like
Yeah.
obviously it's not good racing by the books, but
Yeah.
it made it entertaining. It wasn't
Yeah.
a clean stock standard race.
Sometimes I just think the most unhinged racing is the best racing.
Same.
Also, for us in Melbourne, it makes it so much easier getting up
I know.
Yeah.
When it's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because then you can actually sit there and you're like, I do want to be up and watch this.
Yeah.
I might do, what is it? What's the F1 TV where you can go on board with the driver? I think next
Oh,
time I just want to go
Sky.
on board.
Yeah.
Sky.
Sky, yeah.
I think
you
next time I
pay
just want to
for
go
it.
on board.
Go on
Just
board
be
with
like,
K-Mag.
Be like, what are you
Yeah.
going to do today?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd actually be interesting
really
to watch
funny
him
to watch.
for Imola, but I think he'll be on his best behaviour in Imola because
No,
Probably
don't.
Man,
or
Keep
don't.
up the bad work.
do it. Do more.
But yeah, all up. Loved Miami. What did you guys think?
Great
Loved
race.
it.
Loved it.
Great race.
Absolutely loved it.
We got a little new segment to finish us off. Random moment of the week.
Special shares.
Special.
You're a
Special
special
moment.
share.
Special. I don't
Special
even know what
moments.
my special moment is.
So we said it can be funny, special, anything in between.
Mm-hmm.
And mine is driver of the day,
Mm-hmm.
the racing cone.
Yes.
That is my special.
Someone
and
needs to
there's-
create a page for the racing code.
there is a meme for the racing
there you
cone.
go.
Oh
as
my
driver
god, driver of the day racing cone.
There you
That
go.
is my my little funny
Brilliant.
F1 moment of the week. What about you guys?
I love it.
I was going to say that Mercedes maybe didn't perform this week, but you know who did perform?
Roscoe?
No, the new Mercedes AMG emoji on WhatsApp.
Oh,
What?
I haven't even checked it out yet.
There
is
is
it good?
a new
Sorry, what?
emoji on
Is there a
WhatsApp
new
Yeah,
emoji?
they released it in New York, and they had
on the top of the Chrysler building.
Yeah.
Lewis doing like donuts in the middle of New York City without any
Oh.
barriers, by the way, which I was like, health and safety. Anyway,
Wasn't he told to not do donuts?
was he?
Yeah, apparently he was told to not do donuts. He was like, I'm going to do donuts.
We definitely
did donuts.
Yeah,
And they look good.
they did look good.
Yeah.
Look
We love
dangerous,
donuts.
but good.
What's the shortcut for the... Wait, do we have it yet?
For what?
The
sorry?
WhatsApp emoji?
I'm not sure.
Do we have it here?
I think you
Probably
need to
not.
do the update. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I can't be
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
My favourite moment, I think, was watching Lando Norris throw his goddamn trophy and actually catch it.
Oh,
Oh my God, yes.
I was like, oh my God, that is
yes.
bold.
That
Like,
could have ended
collectively
so poorly.
millions watching that broadcast. when-
Honestly, if he dropped that,
Tiffany
that
and
would have
Co.
been so funny.
Tiffany and Co. did those trophies actually.
yeah,
Did they?
Yeah.
they were glass.
I can
and
imagine them
sterling
watching.
silver.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was glass as well. Oh
Mm.
my Lord.
Yeah,
The
they're
cover, the
watching.
bad thing was though, I don't think they they realized that they mark so easily. So like in 2 seconds, the driver's dirty hands are just fingerprints all over the trophy.
Like sweaty, salty hands.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
champagne covered hands.
Ugh.
Yuck.
Well,
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
that wraps up our week.
Great.
Next week we've got
weekend.
nothing, and then the following week we're at Imola.
I kind of don't mind having a weekend off.
Yeah, sometimes it's good.
It's kind of nice sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, if you've made it this far, which we bloody hope that you have,
I just assumed you would, please.
please let us know what you thought of our new format
Mm-hmm.
as we test something out. And let us know. That's it. That's all I had to say.
Yeah. And I'm back, and I'm happy to be back in the studio.
Yay!
Yay! But anyway, if you like this, you know the drill. Like, subscribe,
all of the above.
everything.
Follow.
Follow.
Chat. Respond to polls.
Yeah, and let us
Chat. Let's just do fun things.
Slide into our DMs.
slide into our DMs and actually let us know if you like this new format. And we'll be back in your ears next week.
Okay.
See
Thanks
you
for
soon.
listening.
Bye.
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 Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. This one's for my grandma.